Hey K-drama fans, welcome to This Week in K-Drama, where we bring to you our weekly watch list of all the currently airing K-dramas that we had a chance to watch, and we react, we review, we deep dive. So grab your cup of coffee and let's get started.
Welcome. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, hit the bell, notifications, all that good stuff. Tell your friends because you found the K-drama Copy Klatch, the most fun K-drama hangout on YouTube. And hello, don't want to be spoiled? Check the timestamps below. And if you're out of sync with us, you can come back to our previous shows so that you can check in, share your thoughts when you're caught up to where we are.
Where do we always start? Monday, Tuesday. Do You Like Brahms, episode 9 and 10. Marisa, where were you on this one this week? How did you feel?
Okay, so this was 9 and 10.
9 and 10, correct.
So the relationship is still kind of new. All of these managers and professors are like kind of driving me nuts.
I wrote that in my notes like 3 times. I'm like, these teachers are horrible. The professors are horrible. And the manager is just, I need Chris to come in out of nowhere and be like, you're horrible. No, come, Junyoung, I will take care of you. Like, he seems like this mystical creature, this Chris
from
out there.
Germany. Yeah.
Yes.
So I know that the relationship is so new. They're not leaning on each other yet. Like, they haven't kind of gotten to that trust part of the relationship. So I'm like, okay, this is 9 and 10. I think we're setting them up for that. Because so you mentioned last week about all the bad advice that these two, particularly Junyoung, have been getting. Like, just terrible, right? And so then when our favorite manager, played by So Jung-yeon, she's like about to smoke a cigarette and she tells him like the worst piece of advice also, which is like, is it worth it to change a bad habit when it changes everything else? It's like, yeah.
I'm
like,
yeah. He gets colossally bad advice. His initial reactions all seem to be right on the money, and then he gets bad advice and he acts on the bad advice and not his own gut. And I'm just like, Park Junyoung, come on, man. Come on. Like, follow your gut, follow your heart. And the only thing he's really following his heart on is with Chae Sang-ah. And I think that's adorable and I'm loving it. And they're in their like first throes of love and relationship were so adorable. Like, they were just like, they were just too much. Like, their adorableness was just off the charts, which I loved. But we even got some really good kisses, which was nice, like real couple type stuff. But I don't know. I
think that's the trajectory, right? That's what they're setting up. That these two, I mean, there's in college, right? I mean, I know they're a little older, but they're still in their 20s. So I think that's where this is going. That they've set it up that these two young people will have now found each other. Hopefully will lean on each other and learn to stand up for themselves and not get pushed around by every single person in their lives.
Person. Like, it's like, oh dear Lord. So yeah, and my heart broke for almost both triangles just imploded this week. Like,
and they were identical.
Identical, right? And it seems like Chae Sang-ah and Park Junyoung were in the exact same part of the triangle.
Yes.
Like, and so it was, I love the mirroring of it, but it also was just like, oh dear Lord, oh Christ. And they both got the exact same reaction from their best friends, which is Han Hyun-oh and Kang Min-sung. So yeah. I did enjoy the mirroring all that, but my heart broke for everybody this week. And so maybe that was why it was just kind of like, I was just so anxious through every minute of the show. My anxiety levels were through the roof this week. And I don't know if that's just because the US is on fire right now and everything is falling apart. But my shows this week, I was high strung this week, you guys. I'm just going to give you all fair warning.
Me too. This show, there was a different kind of tension. And then, but you mentioned it the other week too, that this show goes by really fast. Because I was
so
like,
fast.
Boom, it was over. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's how good it is. So invested in it, but like, God,
right. So
these professors, holy shit.
Those professors are just awful. Just terrible people, and should not be in charge of anyone or be able to guide anybody's career anywhere because they're atrociously bad. Right.
And classical music is, it's a performing art, is where the performing arts are where you are constantly being taught and criticized. You are constantly being reminded that you are not good enough.
Right.
What you're playing is not good enough.
Right.
It's not perfect. It's not where you should be. And so you can see how for a personality like Chae Sung-ah, that it's just like, it squelches her love of music is so great, but all of these, corrections have just worn her down, and she just has no sense of self. So, it was hard.
It was just such a hard episode for me to watch.
It's hard to watch.
Like, again, Han Hyun-ho owned my heart when he was just like, you do not tell Jung Kyung what is going on. He's like, you already told her. Like, he's so heartbroken that he still like has her back, and you're just like, oh, pumpkin. We've all been there. Heartbroken. We think there's still no, pumpkin, just let her go. Like, I almost want him to get together with the other best friend. Like, I want the two best friends to get together now, because I'm just like let's just move on, you two, because it's just not worth it, right?
Right. They're too, he fell in love with her too young,
right?
It's just...
And it looks like the foreshadowing, or not even the foreshadowing, but the teasers look like that it does look like Han Hyun-ho and Lee Jung Kyung are going to kind of find their way back to each other, which I'm not sure how I feel about that. She was really, really mean to him. Like, really, really mean to him.
Yes.
Like, horridly mean to him. And then took away his best friend on top of that because of how awful she was.
Yeah.
Like, just, show, I need you to be my soothing place, not my anxiety-ridden place. So I think maybe that was my problem this week. But overall, I still really dug it.
Yeah.
Next up, Zombie Detective, episodes 5 through 8, because they're all the half-hour episodes.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, you guys. Marisa, like, I find the funny parts funny, and I like Chae Jin-hyuk a lot. Like, I find this character to be, like, really good for him, like, as an actor. Like, it's just been, I've really enjoyed that. I'm enjoying Park Jo-hyun as well as his, like, sidekick now. But there's something about the story that's just not gelling for me overall as a full story. So with the onslaught of October about looming ahead, I'm just not, I don't know, you guys. I don't know.
Ooh.
Right? I know.
I don't feel that way.
Okay. Talk to me.
It is the distraction that I need. It is so different. It is the laughs that I need. And it is like, I'm like, why am I ogling a zombie, like, in the shower?
Right?
And then at the end of whatever.
Oh, right?
I'm like, oh my goodness. He's got like, literally, like, you can see
too huge. I love that camera angle there at the end. It was like seeing her through with a hole in his gut. Yeah, right?
I don't know. It was the escape that I needed. I find it now story. So story is so important to both of us, but for you particularly, for me, I was just like, it felt episodic.
Maybe that's it. Maybe the fact that it's episodic is not working for me. I'm not really a big fan of episodic.
Yeah, it's like, here's his zombie adventure for these 2 episodes.
Right?
He's like, they're going to take down this cult, and then we're going to move on to a different, like, zombie-fied aspect story thing.
Right.
So,
I did really enjoy a lot of moments. Like, him doing the yoga was hilarious to me. Like, the yoga with the new zombie move, like, the zombie pose was,
that was very existential of him.
Right? Like, I love the beats. Like they're a lot of fun. It's just like his love of tripe is also like it's hilarious to me. And I find his voiceovers are amazing because they're hilarious, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why. There's just something that's not gelling. And I literally fell asleep watching it the other night. Now, mind you, again, as you know, Marisa, I went back into an office this week, so I had a lot of full stuff on my plate. So maybe I was just exhausted.
Maybe.
So maybe that's all it was. But yeah, for some reason this week I was just kind of like, ah! And then they gave us the ending where she finds out and the competitor finds out. And I was like, damn it, Shaw, I was about to give you the big old thumbs down. But nope, I'm still going to be back next week.
There are so many laugh out loud moments for me, like when he was flipping the business cards at the bad guy.
Right?
And then the moment, like the whole K-beauty BB cream like thread that is running through, I love that so much. It's
hilarious. And I actually wrote in my notes, can we talk about the durability of his BB cream?
That shit is amazing.
That shit is amazing.
Like his glass,
right?
pores. Like he just like I think chuck is the term, this kind of like dewy. And then like when she opens the door and this like little gust of wind just takes her hair. It's just
right.
I love that.
That's what I'm saying. Like all of that also made me laugh, and I was like, nice, I loved it. But for some reason, I was just like, oh boy. But I will say another piece that I did enjoy was and I'm hoping we dive a little bit more into that. But the husband, the brother-in-law,
this is the whole meta thing that's
happening. It's the brother-in-law this time. The one that is basically wants to write the zombie movie has been writing all. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you meant the meta of Tae Hong Hope, who played him in. There's so much meta going on. Maybe that's it. There's just too much meta. But yeah, the meta of the zombie like hunter, for lack of a better word, who wants to make all these movies. Like I love him so much, and how him and the kid and everybody is like, poor Hwang Bo-ra. She always is played like the over the top obnoxious one, but I think it's hilarious how the whole family is like, what did you do now? Like why? Whoa, God.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I like all the elements. I don't know why it's just not. I'm not loving it. I should be loving it, Marisa.
We're like 25% of the way through.
Right. So
it should have gelled for you by now.
I feel like it should have gelled for me by now, but I'm willing to give it another week. So maybe it'll just be one of those shows where every week I'm like, all right, I'll give it another week. And then suddenly it'll be over and I'll be like, I actually enjoyed that. Who knows? But something that I do know, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, you guys, a little bit of a teaser on that one. There actually are no new Wednesday, Thursday shows that we're watching, but we just wanted to take a minute and just tell you that we too are having Flower of Evil withdrawal. I think that was my problem this week, Marisa. Like, I just missed Flower of Evil so much this week.
And happy Chuseok to everyone.
Absolutely.
But if you're in Korea, then you got all these amazing like films that were being broadcast, and
right.
So for this week, there's a hole in our hearts where Flower of Evil was.
It was again, we're going back to storytelling. It was just such good storytelling. Like again, it wasn't a show that brought any new, like it wasn't a new type of show, but the storytelling was just, and the acting was so good that I just was really missing it this week, you guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So so these shows run for 2 months, right? And you get in the habit of looking forward to the show every week, and now it's gone.
And when you find that crack show, when it's gone, like we talk about it all the time. We even had a question like, how do you get over a show? Like I now need our own advice. Like I need to figure out how to get over Flower of Evil, Marisa. Like I need to figure out how do I move on?
You know what? I rented the film Okay, Madam, and I watched it like 3 times in the 48-hour window I had for the rental.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna have to do that this weekend because my boy Lee Sung-yoon is in that one, so I gotta check that one out. Am I gonna love it?
I cannot even explain to you.
Okay.
He looks good, firing a weapon. Put it that way.
Nice. Lee Sung-yoon will save me. Thank you, Lee Sung-yoon. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Thanks you guys for letting us just kind of get our feelings out about that. So thank you, Wednesday, Thursday, for allowing us to just kind of use you for a brief moment to talk about our own withdrawal symptoms. Oh, Lee Sung-yoon will save me. Yeah.
Yay!
Next up, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. School Nurse Files. Marisa, as you just said, let's work through this.
Let's sort out our feelings.
Was intrigued and entertained, but so confused.
Confused, and I'm a little ambivalent, but feeling positive about it.
Right.
Like I really want season 2.
Yes.
But I'm not. I mean, it was it kind of like the X-Files where, now we'll focus on the student. Now we'll focus on Uteo. Not enough Uteo.
Oh my God. And where did he go? Like he was
where
part
did he
of the
go?
cult, and he was basically building some sort of jelly army, and then he just was gone.
But then he was back. But then nothing really happened with him.
Right.
And and then they spent a lot of time with the Mite Eater, who I love. I love that storyline.
I thought it was a great storyline.
Yeah, it focused in. It got very real and personal.
Yes.
And you understood more about like Jung Yoo-mi's character and what kind of person she really is. Mm-hmm. But then
we took a hard pivot
into this like battle between two families that was resolved like that, like or not resolved. It just went away. And so then I was like,
and then it was like suddenly it became Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the school was on the Hellmouth, and I was like, okay, so there's that, and then really with no resolution, they defeated them because.
And then the school was rebuilt, and there was like the mention of the two families was like done, and all the teachers were fired. I'm like, wait, what? Huh? I felt like we missed like 6 more episodes. We needed like 6 more episodes to flesh it all out. I felt like they just went. I felt like they had like a standard 16 episode show, and they picked every other episode. Like they only gave us like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, 14, and 16. That was it. Those were our episodes. And I was like, wait, I feel like I missed a bunch of story to make this make sense. And I don't know. I definitely need season 2.
Right? But I mean, do they explain season 1, or do we just get more of the same where it makes no sense?
I don't know. It's like Remember Netflix. Remember how Kingdom season 1 ended on the cusp of this massive battle, and you're like, wait, what? You're stopping here? And then same with Arthdal. It like ended like just as like he was he was being crowned. I can't even remember what it was, but it was like just before this huge thing happened, and it wasn't like cliffhanger. It was literally like
mid-scene.
What story are you telling? Because you just gave us appetizers for like 6 episodes, And
that's so it was such an interesting experience because I love the actors. I love the idea. I love the style. But then it was like kind of what you've said numerous times about other shows. And I was just much more aware of it. There were no stakes. There were no stakes in anything. Like it was almost like an aside. Like it was, oh, you just need to have your stomach removed. Done. Okay. Let's wheel you into a hospital and remove your stomach because that happens? Like, what? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Like, and then she was fine. And, and then even our ending, I did feel really bad for our boy, Hyung In Pyo. He's like, don't leave me. And she takes off running. And I was like, what is happening right now? All because she was upset that she got her powers back. Like there was no real stakes of her losing her powers nor getting them back. And why did she lose her powers? That was never really explained. Like, I could go on. I was just, my level of confusion was just so high.
Right. So, like, why would the ghost? Yeah, because all of a sudden I'm like, we've moved from Jellies to a ghost story. So I guess we're like, it's her origin story, which I get. But then why would her powers disappear when he goes to the afterlife? Because how do the ghosts tie into the pond and the... Like there was so much there in terms of the two families and the cult and the grandfather who, you know, we know he's a major, you know, character actor in Korea. We see him all the time, but like we didn't see him. All we got was some voiceover going.
Right. And then we kind of saw him, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but they showed it to us a few times. Is he trapped in his own statue?
I think so. Because he was definitely calling out for his grandson at the end. And the pond, it's like, so like you said, they dropped Mackenzie. Like Yuteo disappeared. I don't know why. He was clearly a pivotal character.
So
and then her best friend, the healer, who turns out is actually with this cult.
But which part of the cult? Because was she full cult? I was a little hazy on whether she was full cult status. She seemed like she had escaped the cult, but then that was hazy too. My level of confusion was for a show that I actually finished, because I just kept hitting play. I'm like, go. Like, what? I enjoyed it. It was weird. It was a weird experience. I'm not gonna lie. It was really frenetic and all over the place, but really pretty. And I enjoyed the ideas behind it. But at the end of it, this is what you get, you guys. Like, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I just had jellies explode all over me, because that was how it felt.
Yeah. And then what's really hard is that because it's Netflix, it's just going to be at least a year before we get season 2, right?
At least.
I mean, is there even a date? I don't
even know if it's an official confirmation that we're getting a season 2. So that might be it. I mean, it feels like it's set up for multiple seasons.
Yeah.
But
oh no.
Right?
So I'm intrigued, but like really unsatisfied.
That's perfect way to put it. That's a perfect way to put it. Super intrigued, really unsatisfied. Like that was you and I were talking earlier before we started shooting, and it kind of goes with the same analogy. I felt like I ate the hugest tub of popcorn, and I'm still starving.
Yes. Yeah.
I ate every last kernel. I even ate the kernels that didn't pop, and I still am like, I need more. Like, what was that? Like, I'm still starving. Like, it was really weird. Are we missing something, you guys? Did we miss a key pivotal thing because of translation issues or subtitle issues or just cultural issues? Let us know, because I wanted to love it. I did.
Yeah, I have to say there's a lot of voiceover in this, and I had to go back because you'd be looking at something super visual, and I'm like, wait, I think she just dropped some major motivation or resolution or something. I'm like, wait a second.
Okay. Oof. School Nurse Files. You were something.
You were something.
You were something. All right. Moving on. Next up, we have More Than Friends, which seems to be one that everyone's super excited about. I did not get a chance to catch episodes 1 and is 2 even subbed yet, but those were the first 2, and then we've got episodes coming out this week. Marisa, what you had said that you were digging it.
Yes, it was a total surprise. This was I am back in quarantine. I'm not sick. I traveled to my to visit family. To help family, and so I'm in Canada, so I'm back in quarantine. So I had some time, and I wasn't. I had no expectations for this show. It's really good.
Okay,
it's like it's 3 friends, and it's got that same kind of vibe as Be Melodramatic or not Search WWW so much, but what's the other one we really love? This Is My First Love.
Oh, Because This Is My First Life?
Yes.
Nice.
It's and there's a high school flashback, but it's done really well. And it's starring Shin Ye-eun, who I think it might have even been her first one. He is psychometric. She's really good. Because there's some tropey shit in this, falling on top of each other and blah, blah, blah. But she's really good. And she's got two best friends who we don't see a lot of in episode 2, but I can't wait to see more of them. Played by Baek Soo-min and An Yoon-jin. So An Yoon-jin is the girl in high school that you needed to have your back. She was like, they got in this massive fight because, girls bullying in the bathroom. Sure. And she was just like, they're in the principal's office and she's like, I really wanted to fight today.
Nice.
And she's the friend that has all this sage advice and can just see, like, has so much clarity, for a high schooler.
Right.
But it's, 3 young women in different relationships with the men in their lives.
Gotcha.
But it's really good. And it's directed by the director who did My ID is Gangnam Beauty. And so he handles these kind of youthful stories and all of that. What do you call it? Growing up. Confusion in life and love. He handles it with such a deft touch.
Nice.
So you have things that are maybe written to be tropey or a little over the top, but they're handled really well. And I have to say, episode 2 takes place mostly on Jeju Island, and it is so beautiful. Like, they spend a long time there. It's not just I'm flying there for the weekend and I am on the plane. They are in all sorts of gorgeous locations, hillsides, and just
I love it.
Coffee shop. Like, she's going to all these bookstores. Jen, she's going to bookstores. Oh my God, I should have led with this. She's a calligrapher. Yes. She's a calligrapher. So her script and her note cards that she's making are just, they're so beautiful. And it's one of the things that we just fell in love with Korean culture. It's just, so
and
this
if you guys don't know anything if you guys have not figured this out yet, watching me and Marisa for the last 3 years, we love paper and pens. We are obsessed with them. So that's why we have the Kdrama notebook. That's why we have our notebooks. We always have new pens. When Marisa and I can go shopping together, we always end up in a stationery store. And so a calligrapher, please stop.
You mentioned the Kdrama notebook that Jen designed. We have a free downloadable for you. Yes, because we like to take notes because we watch so many shows and we want you to share your thoughts with us. So we have a little gift for you.
Yeah, and it is a full 16 episode document. So whether you want to do all your premieres, you want to do one show per book, however you want to do it, but you can. It's a full 16 pages. So yeah, you're good to go on that.
Yes. So this show, 3 great friends, really enjoyable and just so relatable.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna definitely jump in. I meant to jump in. I just ran out of time this week. But so that one maybe that'll take the edge off my Flower of Evil withdrawals.
It's very different. It's definitely the other end of the spectrum. So
nice. All right, cool. Next up, Missing the Other Side. I love this show. I really enjoy it. I don't know. It's another one of those that just, it's over and I'm like, wait, it's done? Oh, man. Yeah. Are you not digging it as much anymore?
Oh, no. I like it. I found this week kind of slow. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. That's how I felt about Brahms. Interesting. I was like that with Brahms, but not this one.
Oh.
What's going on in the world today? Our trio of Kim-wook, Jang Pang-suk, and Lee Jung-ah, I love them so much. And their wacky infiltrations of things. And I feel bad that we've kind of completely ignored the best friend who got killed earlier in the show. Jang Pang-suk took over his role as like the third of the trio, but I love them so much that I'm actually okay with it.
I know they have these mini like A-team, what do you call it? Capers.
Yeah, like missions. They have missions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love that Lee Jung-ah is the smartest of the three. Like, she is such a badass, and she's like, she's got the SOS on her phone. She's got all the equipment. She is on that shit. She will say this, though. I'm disappointed that she's probably not the daughter.
That's right. But she is going to find her.
She is.
We know that.
We know. So I was okay with that. That's exactly what I wrote down. I'm like, oh, man. Because I thought with the his opening monologue where he was talking about that, I'm like, oh, it's going to be her. It's going to be no. And then she was like, she saw the name in the picture and she's like, so this is his daughter. I'm like, oh, it's not you. All right.
Yeah, but who is the daughter? Is it really going to be somebody we haven't seen yet?
Right? I don't know.
Maybe she's right.
Maybe she's in the village, because when he was yelling at whatever force brings people to the village, and he was like, "How could you do this to me? You let him see his mom, but you don't give me, my daughter." And I'm like, clearly, I feel like from a story standpoint, she's somewhere that he's already seen her.
Right.
Right. I feel like that's the.
How old is she supposed to be? How long has she been missing?
I
couldn't tell.
But they aged her up to make it kind of in Lee Jung-ah's like age-ish, sort of.
I guess so.
I mean, I'm thinking early 20s, maybe. Was my
maybe. Yeah. She's not So Yeon Soo, right?
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Huh.
That'd be interesting. Our love
bride.
Our love torn. Our tragic, half of our tragic love story.
I'm so curious how her storyline is going to end. Like, how on earth is it going to?
Again, we have to remember OCN. So, they like to stick. They very rarely give us those happy, warm endings. Not to mention, she's now been at the bottom of a pond or some sort of watering hole for at least a month. So I don't see that working out well.
Yeah.
But yeah, they broke my heart this week though.
Oh yeah, they did.
Shin Joon-ho being so happy to hear that she was alive and that someone had seen her when that guy scammed him, and then to have Kim be like, no,
she's not. I know. Oh.
It's heartbreaking, and I love it. I don't know
why. And I'm so curious about Thomas. Good Lord, man. What have you been up to?
Thomas, again, just whipped up a bicycle overnight. God bless.
But he's got people chained in another building.
Right?
Dude.
Yeah, and they're alive. I'm wildly curious about Thomas's backstory. I mean, I really was writing in my notes, please don't be bad. So I'm hoping he's not full evil, but I don't think he's full evil. I feel like maybe he's just.
It's like, this is what I have to do to keep the other villagers safe.
Right.
But it's like, whoa. That
was
a surprise.
Yeah. And I did appreciate that by the end of the episode, Thomas was like, you guys are my friends. There's just, for an OCN show, there's a lot of sweetness in this one that I'm really enjoying.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely not what we always get from OCN.
Right?
But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm super jazzed. So this was 7 and 8. It only has 12. So we're heading into the penultimate week. So we've only got 4 left. So I'm super into that. Obviously it does feel like it's wrapping up, which obviously it is, but sometimes you're just like, wait, what? We've only got 4 episodes left. But I feel like this one is actually the pacing is really nice with this one.
Yeah. Cause we have a lot of questions that have to be answered, and they're slowly tying everything together with the corporation and the missing, the orphans and the fires and the
right. And the murder and now the mom and the aunt, and who is the grandchild? There's now we've got every theory out there. I'm like, is Ha-jun not Ha-jun, that's the actor's name, but is our detective Shin Joon-ho the actual grandchild, which is kind of where I'm leaning. His mom, because she ran the orphanage, actually just adopted him.
Right. There's no father around. Yeah,
no.
That could be.
So that was kind of, but because I think we originally were like, no, it's Kim-wook is the but no, he's got his own mom. And so unless there was some switcheroo there.
No, I think you're onto something there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that was my thought this week because Juho had so many conversations with the chaebol lady that I was like, oh, I wonder if they're setting this up so that they already have a relationship. Oh, that could be interesting.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
All right, show. 2 more weeks. Next up, Lie After Lie. Marisa, where are we? We're hitting the halfway point.
So this show is massive for Channel A. It's like giving them the biggest ratings they've ever had for a drama. Yeah. So this is like the right flavor of makjang, sort of. It's like it's not too heavy.
So it's not Last Empress makjang.
No, it's not Last Empress makjang. It's actually really her story. Like you get occasional scenes with the manipulative ex-mother-in-law CEO of the cosmetic brand.
Right.
And you get occasional scenes with her ordering this like henchman around who I thought was on Yunsu's side, but maybe isn't. I don't know. He's the one that actually was the bad guy in all of this. But because he has a child who's, you know, in a care facility, you know, and his motivations are also highly melodramatic.
Sure.
But it's makjang. I don't want to say makjang light, but it's not on that heavy end of the scale where every scene is like, oh my God, this insane thing happened. But because at its core, I mean, it's built on a lie after lie after lie, but it is
hence the title.
Yes, the title. But it is this love story between a mother and her child and a woman and a man. So, you know.
Nice. Okay. So where are we with the machinations this week?
Well, there have been DNA tests.
Oh.
So now the CEO and her handsome secretary,
of course,
are starting to like circle the wagons around Yunsu. And also because the CEO has kind of entrapped our journalist ex-wife. Like she manages our pro golfer, right?
Of course.
So she's been having tea occasionally with our evil CEO, and she wants her ex-husband back. She wants her daughter back, even though she cheated on her husband, which is why they divorced, and also left the apartment and left something on the stove. So their daughter almost died because it filled with smoke and she's got asthma. So she's like, she cheated on her husband and almost killed their child. But why can't you forgive me?
I don't know. So weird. I don't know. I'm a cold, heartless bastard.
I know. Let me explain it to you. So, so she's being used as a pawn by the CEO to take down Yunsu because CEO mom still has not forgiven her for killing her son.
Which one would not, I would guess.
Except that her son was abusive to her. That's why she, you know, and did she really kill him?
Did she kill the husband?
Husband, he died. She had a knife in her hand. She served 10 years in prison, but it looks like it's probably this henchman, former secretary who probably did it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah. I mean, so clearly, you know, super selfish CEO, you know, who orders babies to be drowned, you know, a big surprise her son was, you know, an abusive piece of shit. So, you know, but our couple is falling more in love and they're doing odd things like making wine out of table grapes. So if you're Korean, let me know if there's some sort of, you know, recipe that I'm not getting here, because I thought it was very odd that she had trays and trays of table grapes and was going to make wine with him. And this silly moment where they're just like stomping on the grapes and she keeps slipping and he keeps catching her.
Oh my.
But yeah, it's makjang goodness. So there is one thing that's kind of been bothering me a little bit about this relationship is that he basically he's dating her,
right?
But then when she confesses, he's like, no, I can't. I'm not emotionally there. I'm not over my wife. I'm like, did you really just lead her on? Did you go to all these dates with her and not think she was going to fall for you because, you know, you're kind of a great guy in this. You're like the best dad ever. And like, what are you doing to her? I'm
that
like,
makes
oh,
no sense.
men.
Yikes.
I know.
All right.
So, yeah.
So basically what's about to happen is he's now going to fall head over heels for her. And then he's going to find out she lied.
That's right. After lie after lie. I mean, this show is just, it's infinitely entertaining.
Nice.
Just, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Nice work, Channel A. Congratulations. Next up. All right, you guys. Stranger 2. Heading into those penultimate episodes, heading into the finale. That is, more than likely by the time you watch this, you've already watched the finale. So super excited. Marisa, it's finally the show we were waiting for 14 episodes. It was so freaking good.
Yes, I'm like just dying to watch the final 2 episodes because this just, this was exactly the show that we were waiting for.
So good. And I mean, we talked about it before we started we started recording, but I have to give props to the writer because the layers that they laid in where all of us were like, now they all make sense. Like we didn't need, it was just so, episodes 13 and 14 were so brilliantly done that it was, so yeah, I was so into it. We had our team back together. We had Shimok and Yojin together as a team, fighting the bad guys, tracking them down, arresting them, interrogating them. Like it was so good.
It was so good. And it's just setting us up for the final 2 episodes because I have so like big questions now about who knew what when. And who's in with who, and just that there are multiple layers to this kidnapping. Like so many layers. It was really good.
It was so good. And yay! Sodong Jae is not dead. He's in bad shape, but he's not dead. So congratulations, Lee Jun-hyuk. You survived a show.
Oh my God. That's right.
Oh my God. At least I was waiting for him to show up in pieces. Speaking of pieces, Marisa, the tie is intact. Yes. Was that for a cliffhanger right there at the end? Oh, I was like, what?
I know.
Who
so basically,
set this whole thing up?
I know. So you've got kind of a random crime, but somehow has like opened up this or is revealing all of this corruption that's happening at these really high levels. So it's like so good. I know. Yeah. I can't wait for them to like just kind of reveal who. Yes. So the tie. The tie was a massive clue, and it turned out it was planted. It wasn't a real clue.
Yeah. So amazing. Oh my God, I'm loving it so much. I do feel a little bit bad for Kim Hyo-jung, who is our suspect and actually our bad guy, because he was bullied so relentlessly. And so I feel bad that he had to turn to violence and murder to cover up, to basically get out of his bullying situation. But man, bullying in Korea, if our K-dramas are any indication, is bad.
Ooh, it's intense.
It is. It's intense.
Right. Especially when your own father is such a big bully.
Right? Yeah. When you're raised by a bully and then you get bullied again, like, I mean, I guess we're not really surprised he snapped a lung and like, drowned the two for sure. Yeah. I did find I did feel bad for him, but then I was like, oh dude, you handled it so wrong. Like there had to be other ways to handle this.
But again, and this is amazing story writing, the father, who is a prosecutor or was a
right.
Again, it tied back into the bigger story that's happening, which is like they didn't even have to show very much of it. It's just like literally a series of phone calls that will reference. It's like, this is how business is done. This is
the level of corruption that is happening, which has been kind of the argument for the entire series. Which we kind of knew this getting through it, but we were kind of like, can we get to some of the meat? Like, give us our prosecutor and our detective that we love so much. Give us more of that. But it's just been, again, you get to this, the actors were so good that, I mean, I was okay going along for the ride. I mean, I didn't love it, but there was no way I was dropping it at all. But then you hit episode 13 and 14 and it was like, yes, this is what we were waiting for. And it was so freaking good. I mean, the actors are just astounding. I mean, Jo Sung-woo, Bae Doona, Chon Hae-jin, and Choi Moo-sung, please. Like, those four, so good. I hope they're all back for season 3. If there is a season 3, there's got to be a season 3, right? There has to be.
Yeah. So can we talk about Cho Sung-woo in the interrogation room? This was a whole other color to him that we haven't really seen before.
I mean, that's that rage that they basically lobotomized him to get rid of, and that so him still crushing those pictures, like.
Oh yeah. I have a question. Can you really turn off the cameras in an interrogation room? Like, isn't that's the whole point of having? I mean, we see it in crime drama
all the time.
All the time.
All the time. Yeah.
I finally actually made the note. Like, how is this okay?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that just seems, especially in the middle of an investigation, like bad practice. Just saying.
Yeah.
But
for him to do it, for him to flip the switch, it was like, oh. How's he going to unload on this guy?
Oh, and it was so good. He's just such a good actor, you guys. He's just so amazing. He's freaking phenomenal. He's just a phenomenal actor.
He's on the top of our list. Like, when we get to South Korea, I'd like to see a musical with him in.
Oh!
Right?
Oh my God. Yes, absolutely. So yeah, it was just so freaking satisfying this week. Them working together, the police department team working together. Our prosecutors are a hot mess. I don't know. I mean, the prosecutors they're just all over the board.
What class was he in? What class were you in? Is he your Sunbae? Is he your dunk? You know, like, your Hubei? Like it's all
it's just crazy. Like, seriously, I mean, if any of my high school friends or people I went to school with are watching, I mean no disrespect, but I'm pretty confident if I gave you a call because we went to school together and asked you for a favor, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So I'm fascinated with that whole ideology there, right?
Oh yeah. It's big. So the actors you were mentioning, Chaebit, oh my God.
Oh,
she is just, I'm loving her so much.
So much.
There was this moment when they were at the search scene when she's in the car, like dealing with her kids and their homework. And I was like, oh my God. Like, that was like just this gem of a moment where you're like, yeah, she's a mom too. She's a woman too. And she's like, you know, the head of this police division. It's like, you have to do all of it. Yeah.
Not to mention, you layer in that she rolls up to the crime scene in full blues, right?
Yeah.
And even Han Yo-jin was like, were you at an event? Like, what? She's like, no. I was like, man, she knows how to play those cameras and knows how to play that whole thing. Like, it's just, I mean, we say this all the time, but Jung Hae-jin she's the best. I love her.
Favorite.
There actually was hilariously. There's actually like one of those, million, your birth month and your first letter of your name, and this is what it is. And I ended up getting matched with her husband. I was like, well, at least I'm in good company.
Oh, her real life husband?
Yeah. I was like, I'll take
what's his name?
Lee Sung-kyung?
Lee Sung-kyung, yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
superstar.
I know. I was like, I will totally take that quiz.
No kidding. No kidding.
If I can be as cool as her, I'm in good company. Thank you very much.
Sidebar: are we watching have you watched the Coffee Prince reunion?
I have not yet.
It's really sweet. It's really sweet for these actors to go back and take a look at. It's like they're all like, "This was my youth. This was my first love." Because for like Kim Dong-wook and Kim Jae-wook.
Yeah.
Because they've done a couple projects together. This was, a major role
that was their
for them.
First breakout one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously Gong Yoo.
Obviously. Yeah.
Obviously in Yoo Yun-hae. Yeah, it was definitely a trip down memory lane.
Oh, nice. I'll have to check it out. So if you guys are also watching it, Caitlin on the blog is going to actually do a review of the entire, it's a 2-part documentary that you can catch on Kokua with subtitles and the whole thing. And so you can see Chung Hae-jin's real life husband and my and my quiz husband in that as well. And Caitlin will be reviewing that, and it'll be perfect.
Yeah.
So yes, yay! Oh my God. Okay, Marisa. So that was the week.
Time for our top 3 moments.
Yes.
So moment number 1 this week wasn't a moment.
It wasn't. There were too many good moments in this, Marisa. So we couldn't narrow it down, you guys. It was the entire week of Stranger 2, 13 and 14, the entire 2 episodes, because it was so good and it was so reminiscent of what we loved that was just the whole moment. It was just our favorite prosecutor and our favorite detective doing amazing things together for 2 hours plus, because it's TVN and it's amazing.
Yeah. So really just like it just brought us back to why we love the show so much. And as we head into the final episodes, it's like, oh yes, this is just like teeing up. I was going to mix my metaphors. I was going to say teeing up for a home run.
Right? That's all right. We'll tee up for a home run. It's going to be amazing. We got bases loaded and a slam dunk coming your way.
And then our top moment number 2 was in the school nurse files.
Right.
It kind of, so we have our idol in training.
Mm-hmm.
She just casually mentions that she's dating the mite eater. And I was just like, it was just so great. It was just so great. It was just like, I'm dating her. So of course it's high school. When you announce that you're dating a girl, the whole school in the lunchroom just stops and stares at you. And then the young, the student who like just loses her mind is played by Oh Kyung-hwa, who played the secretary,
Jang Geum-ja's
secretary in Hyena.
We loved her so much. It was so nice to see her. Though I weirdly did not recognize her until we started talking about this. And I was like, the weird ponytail. She was way just overwrought, but she's so fun. And I enjoyed her so much.
Again, the screenwriter is a woman, the director is a woman, and then you have these female-centric stories and moments in the show.
It was so good.
One of the things that we really love about this series.
Really did love about the series. And I also, just to kind of continue on that theme, I enjoyed that even though the school was in chaos with everyone, like, again, it felt like a Buffy episode where everybody's, rage came out about weird stuff, or like a laughing disease happened. But I did appreciate that even Nam Joo-hyuk in the office also was like, it's not really a big deal, you guys. Like, and so I did again appreciate that it not only was, treated pretty casually as a normal thing, that even your leads were like, you need to not be concerned about that. Like, stop it. Like, knock it off. So huge shout out, school nurse files. Well done.
Yes. And then our third moment is the end of the episode of Do You Like Brahms?
Pumpkin.
So when Chae Sung-ah, in her overly dressed outfit for college,
absolutely, put a beautiful blouse. You know that I'm not a fashion person, but that blouse and that color, gorgeous. I was like, I love that shirt so much.
That's right. I think most of us got through college wearing sweats, and yet she's in heels. And
the
skirt.
full, like, whatever.
So she walks up to the practice room because everyone's gathered around because Jin Young is accompanying Jung Kyung on the violin, and clearly there's so much talent and musical connection and partnership just oozing out of that room.
I mean, it's a 15 year. It's a 15. Everything about their connection for the last 15 years was in this room, and and poor Chae Sung-ah, just every God knows what's going through her head, right? So we can't wait to unpack that, because this poor young woman, she's clearly doesn't have that level of talent, doesn't have the history with him, and it's just like all there. It's just all there on her face. You were just like, oh, Pumpkin. Oh, yeah. But he chose you. I'm going to say that again and again. He chose you. He could have taken it. He could have taken that move, but he did not. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm hoping that's where the show's headed.
Oh God, yeah.
But it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. I'm telling you, this show does heartbreak like no other show I've ever watched. It is so real and so visceral that you're just like, oh God. Ugh. It's suddenly 1992 all over again.
Oh God. Yeah, it's tapped into some deep buried emotions there, huh?
Oh, it's crazy. Oh man. All right, you guys, that is our weekly watch list. What is yours? Let us know. We're the K3. I'm Jen.
I'm Marisa, and you. Thank you for being part of this K-drama copy klatch. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and tell your friends, because this conversation is for everybody.
It's for everybody.
All of you K-drama lovers out there.
And you guys, our goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of this year because we need a win in 2020. So any help you can give us would be fantastic. So we appreciate you so much. But yeah, if you want to hit that bell, you'll be notified every time we drop a video. And so, yeah, we really appreciate that. And if you guys are still looking to figure out what you want to watch in October, you can go ahead and check out our Can't Wait to Watch list, which is right here. And there's 10 of them, you guys, 10. We want to watch like 9. So let us know what you're watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.